Okay, we have a few miscellaneous. I know,
Mr. Mayor,
yes.
I'd like to nominate Daniel Wetrin to the, and reappoint him to his position as alternate member number 3 on the Board of Adjustment. I'd like to nominate Jennifer Prince, reappoint her to her alternate member 4 in her position of the Board of Adjustment. I'd like to nominate and move up Tony Parker from alternate number 2 and take the vacant position that Karen Organ has left, which is a Class 4 member. I would like to renominate Howard Thompson to the position of that he's currently in. I'd like to nominate Yehuda Cohen for alternate number 1 position. I'd like to nominate Darrell Green for alternate number 2 position for the Planning Board.
I'll second those nominations.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor. This was not on the agenda, number 1, and I'd like to ask, as a point of order, why Denise Belcher was not promoted and renewed in her position. And I would also like to know why this was not on the agenda. This is just another demonstration, Mr. Katz, as to why Denise Belcher was not reappointed, as to the people that are crying out here of, again, racism against a black woman who was not reappointed to the Planning Board. Can you please explain?
I'm sorry, are you asking me or are you asking the mayor?
You made the nomination.
Oh, okay, these are the members of the people.
And I'm asking why Denise Belcher was omitted.
Okay, so these are the members that I feel are the best qualified for these positions, and these are the ones that I nominated. So, I mean, it looks like 3 African Americans, a Jewish person, and I think that's it, right?
Can you please tell me why Denise Belcher was not reappointed?
It was not
Because she spoke her voice? Because she spoke her conscience? Because she represented and asked questions?
Listen, I think you're just trying to stir the pot.
No, I'm not,
so
Ellie.
listen, I have the right to nominate who I wish.
Well, I'd like to nominate Denise Belcher.
So go for it.
I would like to nominate Denise Belcher for renewal for the Planning Board. Once again, no second.
Okay.
Please take note, community.
We can take note that we just elevated Tony Parker, an African American.
And as if that was
excuse me, you spoke and now I'm going to speak. We reappointed Harold Thompson, an African American. We reappointed Darrell Green, an African American.
And the one woman whose voice represented, you omitted. Don't placate the community.
I choose not to vote, not to nominate Denise Belcher, who ran against me, who was against, may I finish, please?
Thank you.
Who was against the developments that I proposed.
Thank you.
Who was for subdivisions that I've been against.
Thank you.
Denise Belcher is not a representative of what I feel Teaneck to be.
Wow.
Harold Thompson, who's been a member for years, I look forward to serving with him for the next 4 years on the board, on the Planning Board. I look forward to Tony Parker being elevated as a full member of the Planning Board, and I look forward to Darrell Green joining us an alternate on the Planning Board. So I'm not sure why we're stirring anything here when 3 African Americans were appointed, reappointed, and elevated, and one wasn't, that spent 8 months attacking me. I'm not really sure what this has to do with anything.
Absolutely. And it has everything to do with the fact that you're trying to placate the community by putting out black males that you feel that you could perhaps manipulate. The one woman who asked questions, and now you just discussed because she ran against you, you didn't want to support her.
Mr. Mayor?
Shouldn't we have a varied opinion of the community? Why should they only agree with you? Who are you, God?
Councilmember Organ.
So I sat on the Planning Board next to Ms. Belcher. The meeting that I realized that I wouldn't reappoint her was the Johnson Avenue subdivision, where there was a room full of neighbors there opposed to it. There was an outside developer coming in to buy the property in a residential area and split it in half. And she made a motion to approve the subdivision before the application was even presented. there's a specific reason why I didn't feel she should be there, and there was a room full of neighbors there that got up afterwards and opposed it, and it had nothing to do with her race, color, or the fact that she's a female. I was sitting next to her that night, and that's my reason.
Thank you for that. And I'd like to ask, when the room full of residents who opposed 100 State Street, where was the outcry against that?
But we're not discussing that now. We're discussing this.
Who said that? Who made that choice?
Okay.
We're gonna discuss the nominations that are on the floor. We have one group of nominations that are seconded, and we have another name that currently is not seconded.
Mayor, I apologize.
Yeah.
I unfortunately did not hear the nominations that Deputy Mayor Katz issued. I
no problem.
apologize.
All right, I would like to nominate Daniel Wetrin to his alternate member 3 position on the Board of Adjustment.
And that's a reappointment, correct?
That's a reappointment. His term is expiring. I would like to nominate Jennifer Prince to her alternate 4 position on the Board of Adjustment.
Those are both Board of Adjustment,
Those
correct,
are both
Daniel?
Board of Adjustment, and those are both expiring. I would like to nominate Tony Parker to the vacant position being left by Karen Organ as a Class 4 member. You know, I took off my glasses. I apologize. Let me just get them put back on. I never realized I can't do the glasses and the mask at the same time.
That's the Planning Board, correct, sir?
This is the Planning Board, correct? Okay. I would like to renominate for the expiring term Howard Thompson and reappoint him to his current position as a full Class 4 member. I would like to nominate Yehuda Cohen for alternate number 1 position, and I would like to nominate Darrell Green for alternate number 2 on the Planning Board. Those are all 4 planning boards.
And alternate number 2 was,
Darrell Green.
and that's all Planning Board.
Okay. So what we're voting on here is to put these names in nomination, and they will be approved at the next meeting on the 14th, if I'm not.
So
if
we
I'm
had a
not mistaken.
motion from Deputy Mayor Katz for those nominations. Is there a second?
We had a second, right? Mark, did you second that one?
Mark Schwartz.
Okay.
Okay.
There's no vote, right?
There's no vote.
We just,
Okay.
yeah, we just need to move in a second, yes.
Okay.
And then there was a move from Councilwoman Rice for Denise Belcher to the Planning Board. Was there not a
Yes.
second for that?
Additionally, we also interviewed Gina Gertzberg. I'd like to nominate her also for the Planning Board for the vacated positions.
For the vacant positions.
Yes, thank you.
Is there a second?
Mr. Mayor, under miscellaneous as well, we have a couple of subcommittees that are going to be meeting. I know that I would like to request that for the zoning subcommittee, that myself and Deputy Mayor Schwartz, and I think Mike Pagan wanted to be on.
Oh, for here, yeah.
For the-
This is a council subcommittee. We need to do it at this meeting because there are some events that are going to take place before the next meeting of the council. So the subcommittee for the council will be Deputy Mayor Schwartz, Deputy Mayor Katz.
This is the
and-
zoning subcommittee, correct?
Yes, and
I'm sorry.
Councilmember Pagan.
I'm sorry, could you clarify this? I don't recall hearing this before. This is something as separate from the zoning board? This is now a new subcommittee?
No, this is the zoning subcommittee, which.
Of the council.
Of the council.
So a separate zoning committee from the current Board of Adjustment?
Correct. Yeah, we've had a zoning we've had a zoning subcommittee.
Who served previously?
So in the last council, it was myself, Councilman Pruitt, and Mayor Hamaduddin, and Deputy Mayor Schwartz was the alternate.
Mhm. So who's the alternate now? I'd like to nominate myself for alternate.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay. All right. We also have to walk in a resolution to nominate our member on the planning board. Do we have a nomination for that?
That's the mayor's appointment for the planning board, right?
No. That was,
This is
yeah.
Class 2
Oh.
member.
Yeah.
Or
it's the other
3,
one.
I'm sorry.
It's more.
I'd like to nominate Deputy Mayor Schwartz to continue in that position.
I'll second that.
I'd like to nominate myself.
Point of clarity, I apologize, counsel. Is this a walk-in resolution or
It's a
another
walk-in
nomination?
resolution.
And who is the Class 2 nomination?
Deputy Mayor Schwartz.
I'd also like to make a nomination of myself.
All right, was there a second on Councilman Dunleavy's walk-in resolution for Deputy Mayor Schwartz as the Class 2?
Yes.
That was Michael Began. Sorry, Councilman Kaplan. And was there a second for Councilwoman Rami Rice's?
I'll second.
All right, I'm going to do a roll call on.
Just for clarity, it's a Class 3 position for Deputy Mayor Schwartz.
All right.
Class
Thank
2
you,
is the
Councilman
employee.
Kaplan. Yeah. Class 2 is the township employee, I believe.
Yes.
Township representative. All right, I'm going to do a roll call on Councilman Dunleavy's, and then I'll do a roll call on Councilwoman Rami Rice's.
Just so we know what we're voting on, what are we voting on right now?
This is for the Class 3 position at the Planning Board to be Deputy Mayor Schwartz.
Okay.
That was Councilman Dunleavy's.
Oh, that was, okay.
And roll call, Mayor Dunleavy,
Yes.
Councilman Kaplan,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Katz,
Yes.
Councilwoman Organ,
Yes.
Councilman Began,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rami Rice,
No.
Deputy Mayor Schwartz.
You already passed a motion to fill the spot. That was, it's an order of precedence. The motion was made first, the spot is now filled. So the second motion, has a second included.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney.
Those are all nominations, right? That's everything.
Unless you want to play over.